Alright, so this is a little different. I don't usually stream on Tuesday nights, but the new Precision Farming DLC came out today, and I really didn't know how to put this in a video. I'm only allowed to record so long on PlayStation. The clip can only be so long, so I just figured we'd do a live stream for it. So, Liam Hoffman, hello. How are you doing tonight, my friend? Jeremy? How are you today? Yes, the like button is free, and we have 2 likes, so that's awesome. So, let's kind of get right into this, shall we? So, first thing we do is we're going to go over here, and if we scroll all the way down to the help menu, this may take a while. Okay, precision farming. Here we go. So this is going to pretty much tell you kind of everything you need to know. It's still pretty much up in the air. You're only new? Well, new to the channel or new to the game? Either way, welcome, man. I'm glad to have you here. So I'm not going to read all this, but then we have the soil types. There's loamy sand, sandy loam, and silty clay. So this is going to kind of tell you what kind of yield you're going to get in your fields. Then we have the soil sampling. It's a machine. It's a scout machine. You take a soil sample, you send it out to the laboratory, they test it, and they tell you what kind of soil you have. So we'll take a look at that because that's a little bit involved. This is probably the biggest, I would say, pain about the DLC. This takes the most time. Then we have pH value, and as you can see, loamy sand, sandy loam, all the different types. There's different pH values that you need to keep to have that ideal. Nitrogen value, this is going to replace your fertilizing stages. So with this DLC on, you don't have to have 2 stages of fertilization anymore or 3 stages in seasons. Basically now you just want to make sure your nitrogen values are all correct. So that's a big difference, and that's going to mean big changes to how the game's going to be played. Then we have the yield map, and this tells you specific spots that will do better or worse, and you can analyze the field afterwards. We're going to get into that. Economic analysis, we'll take a look at that deeper. This is going to tell you everything about the field that you have, all the money that you spent on it, what's profitable, what's not. Very cool. And then finally, the RTK station. There are 2 new buildings available in the shop, which have an RTK antenna on top. This antenna provides a better GPS signal for the helpers. As long as one of the new buildings is placed on the map, the accuracy of the helpers is increased as they work up to 11% faster than before. That's going to be kind of interesting because I looked at it and I didn't really notice it helping, but we'll check that out. Yes, Jeremy, lime affects the pH. Okay, you know what? Let's go back into that. So the lime is pretty much the only thing you use to affect the pH. It says the pH value is not at the optimal level. The yield decreases. Depending on the soil type, the pH level decreases after every harvest. So now it says the pH value can be increased by liming the field. This is recommended every 3rd harvest. By default, the lime spreader automatically adjusts the application rate to the rate required to reach the optimal pH target level. But there's also an option to control it manually. We will take a look at that. That's yeah, that's a lot of different. So okay, yeah. So now next to the global map, we have this new icon. This is your precision farming, and so this will show you your pH, your nitrogen levels, your yield, and your soil types. Now, I own field 19 and 20, also field 30 and 31. This is my test map, by the way. So I'm gonna have like a ton of money on this map and stuff. So as you can see, it doesn't tell us because we haven't tested the soil yet, so we have to do that. So let's jump right into that, shall we? No, you don't have to lime after each harvest, but it did say something that you may have to depending on the soil type. So That's interesting. So here's another thing, guys. If you pre-ordered the game, you get this John Deere Gator with the pre-order. If you didn't get it with the pre-order, you get it in this DLC. It's in the store. We'll take a look at all that. And actually, you know what? While I'm here, there's one thing else I want to check out. I'm going to go to the store, go into buildings, and I believe under miscellaneous. Let's find it all the way towards the end. The more mods you have, the longer it takes to find new things. Come on. Okay, right here. So we have the shed with the RTK base station, and we have the building. So I'm just going to get the building for now. Now, supposedly all you need is one of these on your map. That's it. It doesn't say it's got to be near your farm or anything. It just says it has to be on the map. So we're going to set that up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to set a worker off on this field. Now, this is just a rectangle field, so it shouldn't be that hard for a worker anyway. But it says that it will make them work up to 11% faster, so that's interesting. Okay, so let's start it up. And we'll hire a worker. Alright, and we'll just let them be on their way. Okay, so that's odd. Well, that doesn't seem to be working. Hey buddy, you want to lower that header so you can actually get some work done? Oh, what's going on? You know what? This is good. This is good. This it's good to see this live, you know what I mean? So I don't know what the issue is here. I don't know if it's this harvester or what. Well, we're going to dismiss the worker. And, let's see what happens if I start the job first. And then kind of call the worker in to see what happens. Okay, so... since when do harvesters harvest at full speed? Holy crap! What is going on? Okay, let's see. I don't know. The worker seems to be working now. Since when do harvesters harvest at full speed? That's a little strange. Helper E is blocked by an object. That was just me. Okay, we'll let that go. If he doesn't do anything, it's not a big deal. I can still show you guys what I want to show you with the rest of this here. So we're going to hop in this little guy here and start it up. So I'm leaving the help menu on just to show you guys. So we're going to unfold it. There we go. We're going to lower it. And now as you can see, in the lower left-hand corner of the map, you can see that green circle. So that's going to show you pretty much where you are and where you're going to test. So we're going to press square. Now I'm going to show you guys this really quick just to show you, but when I press L1 again, if I press triangle, now it says send soil samples for analysis. So I can send that off right now, but I'm not done. So as you can see in the lower left-hand corner of the map there, you can see that big, like, dark red area. He stopped working again? Yeah. Well, that's definitely an issue, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. So now, as you can see on the big map here, this huge dark red area, that's the soil sample taken. That's what that covers. So with a smaller field, it's not that bad, but when you get into a bigger field, like earlier when I first got into this, I bought field 23. It took me like 19 soil samples to get this field done. It may have been something I did because I didn't know that when you bring up the mini-map, it shows you. But also, when you send these soil samples off to the lab, you get charged like $100. So we'll take a soil sample here. And, like, from what I gathered from everything, you have to get the whole field. The whole field has to be done so you can get an accurate reading of what it is. I will say this is probably the most time-consuming aspect of the DLC. And like I said, if you have big fields, it's going to take an even longer time. Alright, so that spilled over into the other field, actually, so that's pretty cool. So my guess would be everywhere that's within that green area. That's really get tested, so let's try that out. Yeah, we got that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to send these off to be tested. You always get that window. You can't get that window off. Every time you do it, that window pops up. So we'll send those off. And that should be like $400. Now when it's ready, the map will change and a little prompt will come up saying that you spent that money. It doesn't take too long. We'll just wait for it. There we go. $400. So now you can see the colors have changed. It might just be the building is locked in. It shouldn't be. He didn't even make another pass. Maybe, I don't know. Let's run back over here and see what he does. Honestly, when I tried this earlier, I was having all kinds of problems with the AI not working. So let's yeah, that building shouldn't be in the way. That's we'll put it in place and we'll have him go one more pass, see what happens. So far that little building isn't impressing me at all. Yeah, they're always on a break, I guess. Okay, but what am I doing? This is done, so we can pick that up, fold it up. Nope, nope, nope. Ah, I just took a soil sample. I didn't want to do that. Just fold that up and get this out of the way for now. Okay, so now we have some information on our field. As you can see over there in the lower right hand corner, it says my pH value is good. It's 6.25 out of 6.5. Let's see here. If we move around, that should change. Okay, so now the pH value is just okay. But it doesn't look like any of the pH value is bad, so that's good. So let's go back to the map. And soil sample taken. Okay. That's probably because I just took that soil sample, but basically this field is half loamy sand and half sandy loam. Yeah, man. Alright, so mistakes are going to be made because this DLC is new to me as well. So we'll just send that off. But it's kind of good testing these things live. I feel like that helper stopped again. He did. Okay. Yeah, he stopped again. So, I mean, they said if you put one of those buildings on your map, it's supposed to help the AI workers. And as you can see, it hasn't helped at all. I mean, this is just a simple rectangular field that I feel the AI workers prior to this DLC would have taken care of with no problem. So, I don't know what's going on there. So now we have the pH. As we stated before, the pH is pretty good. The nitrogen, it doesn't have no fertilizer. It needs manure on it, so that'll be the next thing that we do. Yeah, my tractor's all set up. So this is yet the next interesting piece here. Now you can see on the control menu where it says nitrogen manure application. So right now, this is set to do it automatically. And if we press L1, you'll see it says deactivate automatic application rate. If we do that, now we can actually set it with the right analog stick. And I don't know how this is going to work because this has actually two controls for the analog stick. But as you can see, that number goes up. Now it's at like 16.8. It's going back down. And again, like, I feel like I don't know what that means. So I tried doing this myself, and the fact of the matter is, if you put it on the automatic, if you activate the automatic, you'll see that those values, they go up and down automatically depending on where you are in the field. So you would have to do that yourself, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to waste a lot of manure. So what this does, areas that don't need as much, it'll slow it down. Areas that need more, it'll speed it up and give you more. So it's actually a pretty cool thing. So let's unfold this. And what I really like is that they show you in the map screen underneath there. They show it happening. That's something that, God, I've wanted in this game ever since FS19. I wanted them to show you in that little map screen, because sometimes it's really hard to figure out where you are, especially with fertilizing. And again, this is going to take the place of your fertilizing stages. So no more 2 and 3 stages of fertilizing, depending on if you're on seasons or not. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be something that you're really going to have to play with and figure out how everything works. So we're just going to get a couple of these spots that we missed. Now that's another thing. When it doesn't need it, it generally stops. So let's shut that off. Now we'll hop out. Now it says nitrogen 80 kg, 20 kg. Now I could have swore I seen on FS Club earlier when he did a live stream, it shows the value of the nitrogen, like the pH value, but on my PS4 it doesn't do that. And he was on Xbox, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Oh, I'll remind you, Jeremy, don't worry about it. This is probably something that we're going to be talking about in Discord for a little while anyway. So, personally, I'm really glad they did something like this because now you see right there that it kind of shut off for a second. But anything they can do to make the game more realistic and add more jobs to do, I'm all about. Like, I think that's exactly what this game needs. And hopefully this is something that, you know, they really think about when developing the next version of the game. I'm not crazy about this manure spreader. It doesn't have that big of a spread. Oh, Nightbot's giving you problems. But yeah, if anybody's watching, if you're not in my Discord, feel free to join. We can discuss this there. There's going to be probably a lot of discussions about this there. Okay. So now we'll take a look at the map. And as you can see, it has changed. There's a lot of orange. Now, this is just one step to the nitrogen process. The other step is your mineral fertilizer. I believe that's what they called it in here. So now, even though the pH is fairly good, we will spread some lime so you guys can see how the lime works. So, being the fact that this is a brand new DLC, there could be bugs in it. You know, there definitely is something going on with the AI workers there that's not right. Well, that's why I hired you, Jeremy. So, this is the thing that's really cool about it. As you can see, the lime is not being used as much as it used to be. And I'm going to do something on purpose. The spreading stops. When you had the lime, right? See, it stopped. It will not let you spread lime over an area that you've already spread lime. This is awesome. This is probably my favorite thing about this DLC so far. Because you wasted so much lime before, and now it's just like shuts itself off. So, good job to Giants doing that. Absolutely money saver, because lime is really expensive. Okay, so as you can see, I'm done. It's spreading a little bit. I don't know why. But we're just going to keep it running for now. I can get more. I have a ton of money. Like I said, this is just my test map, so that's why I have like over 23 million. So now, as you can see, I did this whole field with just one thing of lime, which it feels to me like before that wouldn't have happened. So, hop out. Go over here and check this. So now it says pH value perfect. And that is definitely what you want. Hey, there's Nightbot with the Discord. So there's a link, guys. If you're watching and you're not in the Discord, click that link, join the Discord. You can talk to me, you can talk to Jeremy, everybody else. We got some really cool content creators in there. Okay, so now let's take a look at the map again. Okay, so as you can see, the pH up here is around 6.0, and down here, what's that, about 6.5, I think. So we'll go over to help, and loamy sand is supposed to be 6.0, and sandy loam is 6.5. So yeah, as you can see, that's perfect. That's right where it needs to be. So this field is ready for planting. Absolutely, Jeremy. Now, the question is, for me, and I don't know yet because I haven't done extensive testing, but when the crops are growing, will you need to give them like maybe another blast of fertilizer to get the nitrogen up? Will they suck up some of the nitrogen? So that'll be an interesting thing to experiment with. Speaking of, like, I can plant this right now. And I may do that. I may grab a drill. So let's see. I mean, we're here. We might as well do it. And again, guys, this probably isn't going to be a super long stream. I just really wanted to show this. And for anybody interested, this stream will be up to play back later if you're missing it now. And let me see, what am I looking for? Cedars. Okay, so I don't need a big one, but I don't want one that's like super tiny either. 9 meter, 5,000. Yeah, that'll work. Well, Jeremy, that's a good point, and that's definitely what I'm curious about, because they said that it's going to be more realistic, and they said that certain crops are going to have different needs. So once you start planting, I'm assuming the field will change. And if that's the case, you know, not to steal Mr. Sealy P's catchphrase, but that is going to be a game changer. An absolute game changer. If each crop will have its own needs and change the composition of your soil. Now, when I tested this earlier today, the field that I had, the yields were pretty horrible. I didn't have any part of the field that the yield was at 100%. So I'm thinking you may have to grow a field a couple seasons or so, or a couple harvests if you're not playing with seasons, to get the full effect of the yield percentages. So let's grab this thing. Again, what my hopes was, it was to have the AI kind of have that other field harvested, and we could do that field as well. But it just doesn't look like that's going to happen, so I may just abandon that thought for now. Oh, that's another thing I should say. The DLC will work on every map. It'll work on even the modded maps right now. But I guess the thing is, it's going to be like seasons. So if you use seasons without a geo, you get like the base European season model. So I guess it's going to be the same thing with the maps. The modders, they can actually put in differences on their maps. But if a modded map doesn't have its own, then it'll just use the base version of this. That's what I've heard anyway. Oh, wow. Okay, that doesn't... Right. This is actually pretty fun, guys. I don't usually do FS19 live streams, but I think maybe I'll start doing these more often. Okay, so again, this is the same thing because this uses fertilizer, and I've already fertilized. This will be a good way to show you guys anyway that when I do this, let's take a look at the map again. Go over to nitrogen. You'll see that the nitrogen is all in the orange and yellows. After I plant this and it puts down the other fertilizer, this should all be in greens. The new John Deere stuff. Yeah, I haven't downloaded any of that. Like my memory is pretty much full. So let's lower this. Turn it on. So let's put a worker on this to see what happens, because maybe it's that harvester. Maybe there's an issue with the harvester that I don't know about. I've never used that harvester before, so that could be the issue. Let's just see what happens with this guy. See if I have to fire him or not. That's probably good for the machinery. And not just that, the John Deere stuff, man, always has just such a high slot count, which, I mean, I guess I understand, but... So it says increasing nitrogen level to optimal value for wheat on loamy sand. So far, from what I've seen, I'm not really seeing a big reason to take it off of the automatic. When it does it automatically, it does everything perfectly. Now let's see what he does here. That's a test. So this is kind of making me think that there might be an issue with that harvester. The strange thing is, this tractor is a mod, so maybe there's just a conflict with that mod. And he almost actually went to the end of the field. That's shocking. He's gonna get hung up when I get to that lime spreader, though. Yeah, but what I'm saying, Jeremy, is that there may be an issue with the new DLC and that mod. You know what I mean? Because lots of things like that in Farming Simulator kind of clash. And, you know, we had a stream Friday night that was fun. That was kind of a little bit of a, well, not really a bad stream for EW, but I will say, with Giants, they don't fix anything. Like, very rarely do they put out a patch to fix anything. There's a lot of things with this game that are known issues that they could fix, and they just don't. So, but we won't get into that. We want to be a little positive. Now, if we're looking at the map in the corner, you can see it's turning green. So our nitrogen levels are getting right to where they have to be. So again, that's why I say that's going to be in the way. That's going to be in the way. Okay. Now, I will say this. There are other side-by-sides in the game, but this is the only one that has a 3-point adapter on it. And again, this little testing thing here, you can put this on the back of a tractor. You don't have to put it on this Gator. It's just, I thought it'd be cool to use this because I've never used it before. Well, other than that, there's also the Mahindra that I was using on my roleplay. There's a New Holland one, and there's a JCB one, and they all pretty much do the same thing, except, like I said, this one has the 3-point. Okay. Alright, so I knew that was going to happen. And, crap, I don't have another tractor, so we'll just have to do this the old-fashioned way. We'll have to just do this ourselves. Alright, you're fired. Can't figure out how to turn the wheel the other way to get around this, I tell ya. Good help is very hard to find. But from our test before, it looks like that there may be an issue with the DLC having some kind of conflict with that Rostamash mod for that harvester over there. Because for the most part, the helper was working fine over here. Don't mind my driving skills. This is Jackknife Simulator, right? I thought that's what this was. I'm not here to show you guys good driving skills. I'm just here to show off the DLC anyway. Yeah. I like the Harvester, but I think that the Harvester is probably having some kind of conflict with the DLC. Which, that happens. I just had to get rid of a water pipe on this map today, because every time I drove past it with a tractor, the game just, the FPS dropped down to like 3 FPS. It was ridiculous, so that happens a lot in this game. Mods have a bad conflict with other mods. So we got this less. Oh, and you know what? There's one thing I definitely have to see if I can do. I had to see if I could turn the weeds off, because weeds, yes. Because the weeds are still just a giant pain in the ass, honestly, guys. Like, pardon my language, but yeah, the weeds are horrible. And that's like one of the things that I feel a lot of people have mentioned to Giants, that they were like, you know what? The weeds are just not, they don't work like they should, and they've never fixed. So we're definitely going to shut those off. And I understand that weeds are more realistic, and I do like to play realistically, but even when I play this game on my roleplay series, I turn the weeds off. It's just too much. Alright, so that's done. We can fold this up and get this out of the way. The Seasons mod had an update? I didn't notice that. I went through the mods earlier today. Did that come out? Maybe that came out later? I didn't notice that the Seasons mod had an update today. I'll have to check that. Okay, so shut that off. Go back on the field and see what it says. So now, as you can see, it says nitrogen perfect, pH perfect. It tells you what the soil is. It tells you the growth, all that good stuff. The only thing I will say that is kind of, I guess, a little bit of a detractant to this is that you have to have that field info on. Now, when I do like my roleplay series, I don't like having that on, but that's really the only way to see what's going on with the field, the easiest way, unless you want to keep going to the map, which, you know, it's easier to do that, so. But that's not that big of a deal for me, actually. I don't really mind it. What else? Okay, so we will check the store. See where to find some of this stuff. So go over to cars, and that's where we'll find the John Deere Gator. 22,000. And you can have it with the 3-point or just a standard. Your choice. I believe this takes like 13 slots if you're on console. So, you know, again, if you get to pre-order, you already know all about this. But for those of us that didn't pre-order, this is new to us. So there's that. Let's see here. Let's see, that soil test is in miscellaneous. This is way down the list. Right there. The Iceria. So 17 grand. This is one slot. That's all it takes. Not too bad. You can lease it for 167. That's that. The buildings, I already showed you where the buildings were. And yeah, I don't think anything else. That's everything. So guys, that's pretty much the DLC. That's what it is. Now, from what I've heard, they're going to be adding more to this. This isn't the end of it. I have no idea what more they're going to add. But how do you get to farming? Okay, that's a good question, George Decker. So it's just in the mod hub. Literally, it's in the mod hub. I believe it's under other. I would love to show you guys the mod hub, but the only problem is the menu volume on this game is really loud, and unfortunately, you can't turn that down. I mean, I could try to show you guys. It's not that big of a deal. It would probably just take a second. While I'm here, why not? So let's just save the game quick. We could actually exit out. We could go back. Because I'm probably going to be ending the stream up anyway, unless anybody has any questions. If anybody has any questions, like, hit me with them now, anything you want to see, so we can go over it. And the game's going to crash. Come on. Okay, man. I've been having a lot of issues with this game lately. I don't know. I think the more they're adding to it, it's just slowing it down. I think they really need to figure out where they're going. Okay, so what I did is I went over, and I'm pretty sure it's just under gameplay. Nope. It's under other. Yep, it is under other. Okay. Right there under other. Precision Farming DLC. It's like 20 MB. It's not a very big download at all. There's probably another installed. Interesting. So these are apparently only the ones you can buy. Yeah, so you can scroll over to the latest, and it's the first one under latest. Again, it's like a 20 megabyte. It's really small. I thought it was going to be bigger than that, but it's really kind of a small one. Jesus Christ, Jeremy, thank you. Dude, you know how long I've been trying to figure out how to get that music off so I can freaking show people, like, mods and stuff? Why are you just telling me this now? George, the JD Gator, yeah, it comes free with the DLC, but you have to buy it in-game. We can go back in there, and we can take a look at that again. See, everybody, that's why this dude is my mod. If he would start doing his own videos more, he'd put me right out of business, I swear to God. So this will just take a little bit of time to load back in. I have a ton of mods on this map. This is my test map. This is anytime you see me testing new mods and stuff out, this is the map I use. So what's everybody up to on this Tuesday night? I know it's kind of late. I'm surprised I have as many viewers as I do actually on a Tuesday night this late, but maybe you guys are on the West Coast. Yeah, VP. Absolutely, man. My wife works at Walmart, and she just told me today that they just got like some PS5s in, She said they have maybe like 7 to 10 PS5s. Of course, I don't have the money now, so that sucks, but 10 people will be very happy, I'm sure, in the morning, because I'm sure they'll be gone very quick. Okay, George. Well, I don't blame you, man. It's late, I know. And I apologize for having a late stream like this, but unfortunately, it's the only time I can really get out. So, again, if there's any questions you have, man, now's the time to ask them. So, we look at the store, under cars, scroll over, and they're just right there. John Deere XUV 865M, $22,000. You can get it with the 3-point hitch or with the standard, and with the 3-point hitch you're going to pay $600 more, but you know, it's worth it. This actually makes this vehicle worth it over all the other ones, because like I already had the Mahindra. There's let's see here, we'll take a look. We have the JCB, and basically you can just put a bumper on or take a bumper off. That's that. Then you have the New Holland, which I think you can make this a New Holland or a case. And design, you can just change it. Have like workbox and like a windscreen and lights on it. And then you have the Mahindra. And none of these you have the option to put a 3-point hitch on. So that alone makes that John Deere Gator pretty worth it in my book. And very soon we're going to be getting a mod. A John Deere Gator mod that's actually pretty damn cool. So again, that's that. The little tester things there. Like I say, this stuff comes with the DLC. You have to buy it in the game, but the DLC is completely free. Don't have to pay for it, so that's something that I feel that Giants did good on. I'm still personally deciding whether or not I want to buy the Platinum expansion. The map looks good, but I also kind of want to get a DLC for Train Sim World too, so I don't know. So to everybody watching, is there anything else you want me to go over? Is there something that you missed? Is there something that you want to know about? If so, throw it in the comments now. I'll try to answer everything I can. And if there are no other questions, then I'll probably be ending this stream. Yeah, I mean, the new map looks good, and honestly, if that's the direction they're going, then, you know, that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so if there's no questions, and if everybody is cool with it, we've seen everything we want to see, then I think I'm going to end the stream here. I'm glad for all the ones that came out. Like I said, the Tuesday night stream, I know this is weird and it's kind of late for being on a Tuesday, but it's really the only way I knew how to do this. I could have made a video, but like I said, we're going on, like what? Well, just about an hour, but it seems like nobody wants to watch an hour-long video, and this way here you can interact and you can ask questions. So I appreciate all you guys that came out. I appreciate all the likes. 6 likes, man. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. So yeah, that's where we're going to end it today, guys. I'm glad you all came out. I hope you have a good night, and we'll see you next time.